Man, I have a lot of things on my mind that I want to share with y'all, and I'm excited to share them with you on this video. A lot of things that I feel like when I was starting out with music and all of that, I definitely would have wanted to hear some of these things from someone who was going through it fresh. As I'm releasing music this year, as I'm writing, as I'm recording, producing, and just kind of share with you the journey of that and what the Lord is doing in my heart specifically through that, but also the growth that I'm going through all of that. So this year, I am releasing a worship album, and I'm also releasing some singles prior, along with some singles that are just kind of one-offs. They're more like pop worship songs that I've had the honor and the privilege to collaborate with artists like LJ the Messenger. I have a song coming out. And man, I'm just super excited to release these and allow y'all to hear them. Through this process, I produce, I record, I have a team that I kind of outsource for other instruments like drums. I don't have the studio space in my house for drums, so I outsource that. Mixing and mastering, I outsource. Through that, I've learned a lot of things the hard way. Prior, I would always try to do everything myself, do all of the things that I can, watch all of the videos, learn as much as I can, soak up as much as I can to try to do it all. And some of it came from trying to be frugal by trying to just learn how to do it all and not having to pay other people to do it. But through this process of creating an album and producing it, and then even releasing singles and all that, I've learned that it's better to kind of bite the bullet and pay what you need to pay to outsource for musicians, mixing and mastering, all that stuff. Some people may disagree with this, but for me personally, I have found that I'm able to work with a clearer mind if I know that I don't have to do it all. It doesn't feel like the weight of the entire project or the weight of the entire creative process falls on me. But I know what my roles are. I know what I'm good at, and I also know some of my weaknesses. And I think with creating an album and producing it, you have to know your strengths and your weaknesses. I knew that some of the weaknesses that I had as a producer as well would come into play, and some of the strengths that I had as a producer, I would definitely lean into. Like I said, drums was definitely something that I knew I couldn't record, and I didn't have the resources to do that at my house, the space, the capacity to do that. So I knew I had to outsource that. So starting the process of recording this album, I already had that mentally checked out of my head, knowing, okay, I will outsource for drums. And even bass and some other things, keys. I definitely knew that those were things that I could play. Those were instruments that I knew, but it definitely wasn't my sweet spot. I kind of relied more on myself to record acoustic and electric and of course vocals, but I relied on other people to record the holes that I knew were my weaknesses. And a hard lesson that I learned as well was just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. And that was something that I had always believed is, man, I can play every instrument, so I should record everything on my own. And that's just not the truth, for me at least. I definitely learned that doing everything yourself is not only creatively fatiguing, but it also is taxing emotionally and mentally. It puts you in a place where you're very critical on yourself and you're limiting your creative collaboration. So when you outsource to other musicians and you outsource to other people, you open up the space for them to speak into the songs. Granted, like, you can kind of limit how much you want them to speak into, but you open that door, and you also open the door for them to give and spark new ideas that you wouldn't have by yourself. So that's something that I've learned is huge, and it's super beneficial. And I would strongly encourage it, especially if you have a natural network of people around you that you've just connected with organically, and you have a team you can rely on to help you produce an album or a full song, that kind of thing. It's definitely helpful. So just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. And that was definitely one of the harder things that I learned in past experiences that I brought into this project was I definitely don't want to do it all by myself, which has been so rewarding to work with other people. And also the sweet thing about that has been that I've been able to see their excitement with the project. When I send them songs and I'm like, hey, this is all I have right now, like acoustic vocals, some ideas on electric, that kind of thing. Like, I want to really hear what you have to input, and hearing the natural excitement that they have when they share their thoughts with me from hearing the song for the first time. It fuels me naturally to know that these people that I'm outsourcing with and that I'm working with and collaborating with, they hear the specialness of the songs that I hear and that I heard the first time that I started recording it. You may have dealt with this if you're an artist or producer, but after a while, you kind of get fatigued. Your ears get fatigued with the song. Things stop like popping out to you as they did at the very beginning of when you started producing it. And when you send it to other people, you feed off of that excitement. At least I do when I'm collaborating. So right now, currently, in terms of the process of recording and producing and everything, I have 2 pop worship songs that are fully produced, mixed and mastered. They're already uploaded to be released. And after that, I have some worship songs that are really close to being done. Vocals are pretty much the only thing that's left on the songs, but everything else is done. My plan is to release these songs 28 days from each other. I've learned that if you have a consistent release schedule, it helps your listeners and your followers and fans know that they can expect something new every month, or they can expect something new in a certain time span, which is great in terms of consistency, even for them to know that that's something that they can rely on. And then, the algorithm on Spotify, it definitely helps when you're placing on personal playlists and you're releasing things on a regular basis. By the end of the year, I hope to look back and see the growth that has transpired. I would love to bring y'all along in that and just share kind of some of the real things that I'm going through, the real things that I'm dealing with through that journey, some of the fruit that I'm experiencing, but some of the hardships maybe that come along with that, and just kind of allow y'all to kind of have a glimpse into that whole journey and process. And if y'all have any questions, or if you have any like specific questions that you want to like shoot in the comments, man, I'd be happy to answer anything that I can, that I've learned in this time and that I've learned in this process. So hopefully this was insightful. Hopefully you learned some things through this video, some things that you may have not known about me. Hopefully, like in these videos, you'll learn more about me, more about my heart, and the process that I feel like the Lord is taking me through with these songs, with the future songs that are to come, and the growth that God is doing in me. So love y'all. Until next time, peace.